In this video, we will introduce Anaconda, one of the most popular Python distribution. We'll also introduce the concept about Jupyter Notebook and the best approach to use Jupyter Notebook. If you search Python, you would usually go to python.org, and yet this is not the best approach for beginner or for data science to download Python. And the second approach is just Google Anaconda. And when you search on Google, you immediately see a link to download the individual version. Okay, so I am at the moment using a Windows. So when I click this individual edition, it would automatically go to the download page to download the Windows version. It will take some time to download, and the installation is really easy. Just follow the step on the installer. Alright, once the download complete, go to the download folder on your computer and then double click the Anaconda 3. Well, I have to emphasize that there's usually two versions for download. One is 64-bit and one is 32-bit. Okay, usually new computer will support 64-bit and it would actually run faster. Okay, so when you do download, when you do see the option to choose 64-bit and 32-bit, do go for 64-bit unless you are using a really old computer. So let me double click on this one. As you can see, my version, my download version is a 64-bit. Okay, so ending 2 digit of that file. Say this is a 64-bit. Double click this exe file. Just follow through the step to complete this installation. Click next, agree, and then you can either choose just for me or make it available to all the users of the computer. Let's just go for just for me. And then you can also choose where to install, but this time let's just accept the default suggestion. And for advanced option, I'm not going to change anything. Just accept the default suggestion and click install. It will take some time to complete. When you install Anaconda, besides Python, the compiler itself, it also introduced the most popular package that are usually used in different scenarios like data science, data analysis, and those include NumPy, Pandas. Okay, so a lot of those packages, if you just go to the python.org website, you would have to install them one by one individually. So the good part about using Anaconda is install all of those most popular packages that use in different scenarios automatically as a complete software. So once you completed Anaconda, you will be able to see a folder on your computer. See Anaconda, and this time let me introduce two approaches to use Jupyter Notebook. So Jupyter Notebook also come together with Anaconda. Okay, so this is also why we just go for Anaconda install rather than install Python as a base and then add on one by one. Okay, so we want to save time. So if you go to Anaconda Navigator, okay, so it would show a dashboard. Okay, all of the package, all of the feature that come together with Anaconda. All right, but for us, we are going to just use Jupyter Notebook. Okay, and of course you can choose Jupyter Notebook to start immediately, but for me today it was also the approach that we'll be using in our workshop, using some command. All right, so first of all, we would have to create a folder, and this folder we would take it as a project. So let me go to desktop. Okay, and then let me create my project. Okay, so I would call this my -project. Okay, you can have any number of projects as we wish. All right, and then I would go back to the Anaconda folder and then choose Anaconda PowerShell. Okay, so this PowerShell is the window for you to enter some command. So let's go for Anaconda PowerShell. You have to pick up some basic command like cd stand for changing directory. Okay, and usually if you press cd without extra parameter, it will show you where you are at the moment. All right, pwd also show you the present working directory, pwd. All right, and now let's just change directory to that project directory. Okay, so this project directory is actually quite a long folder name, so it's actually on C drive user, so together with my username Sunny and then desktop and then my project. Okay, if you have to change that directory, you have to type that long path name. So this is really not easy, not even for beginner. All right, so the better approach is just type cd and then followed by an empty space, and then just drag this directory from the Explorer, from the File Explorer to this command window like this. All right. So instead of really drag that folder into this window, it actually copied the path of that folder. All right, so now we can press enter. All right, so the concept of project is important because you will probably have many projects that you don't want to mess around or the file from different projects. So that's why we create a brand new project folder, and then we start Jupyter Notebook from there. So we only see the file that related to that particular project. In this command window, now I can type in Jupyter space notebook. So this is the command to trigger Jupyter Notebook. So really what behind the scene is an engine that entertain all the Jupyter Notebook function, and it would also open up browser page automatically to show the dashboard, show the home page of that particular project. So let's press enter. It actually start the engine of Jupyter Notebook and also automatically show the web page to that project root folder. Okay, at the moment this is really just an empty folder, so there's nothing here. I would also like to point it out to you that sometimes on some particular computer you might face the problem that this browser doesn't really automatically start. Okay, sometimes it might fail to trigger the launching of your browser and show you the web page. If that is the case, just come back to this command window and you will see some path here. Okay, see some it's actually a local host, a web server that running on your own computer. See this HTTP and then local host with a particular port number and then with the token number. All right, you just need to copy this path. First you have to select first, okay, and then right click and then come back to the browser, just paste that link, press enter. You will be able to see the same page. Alright, so this is the best approach to use Jupyter Notebook because you are opening it in the project folder. You don't see massive file, massive folder names. Alright, so now we can start to create the Jupyter Notebook, our new first Jupyter Notebook. So just reaching out to this new button. Alright, click new, and you got to choose Python version. At the moment I only see Python 3, so let's go for Python 3, and immediately you can save this file. So at the moment it's untitled, right? So I would double click this and then I would give it a name, my first notebook, and rename. Let me just go back to that folder and immediately you would actually see, remember we running Jupyter Notebook from my project, right? So at the moment you would actually see my first notebook appear underneath this folder. So this is the concept of project folder. This is important. You don't want to mess around all the file, many files belong to different projects all together. Okay, it would become very messy. So this is the best approach. So now we can type something. So this is we call it a cell. You can start typing Python command like I equal to 10. And then you click this run button. For some cell, it would actually export the output for you. So here, let me try. If I print I, press enter or run, you will see 10. See that? And I can also see I equal to I plus 10 and run again. And if I print I again, this time, it would give us 20. So this we call it interactive programming approach. This is actually the best approach to learn Python programming. It's also a very popular approach for data science or for data analysis. They would usually go back, forth and back to different cell to rerun the cell again and then come back to different place. Unlike you have to code Python in a code editor, they all run instantly all together as a whole. All right, so here you can choose which cell that you want to run. Remember, I can always come back to this cell and run this cell again, and since previously the latest value for I is 20, if I run this cell again, I would actually become 30. Okay, so now if I run this I again, you will see I is 30 now. So this is the so-called interactive Python programming approach. Okay, now if I go back to our home page, you would actually see there's a green icon right next to the notebook name, meaning this notebook is running. All right. Of course, we can stop it from here. As you can see, you can shut it down. And if you shut it down, if you go back to the notebook page, it would give you a warning that the kernel is dead. Of course, you can restart it again, okay, or you simply just close this tab. So do remember, although that notebook is not running, the engine for the Jupyter Notebook is still running. Okay, see, based on this command, you can see you have the command occupied by Jupyter Notebook backend engine. Okay, if you really have to stop this engine, you will have to reaching out to your keyboard by pressing the keyboard combination Ctrl+C for two time to stop it. That's it.